I've learned to bet it later. I used to try to get out ahead of all the information, and I found out I made more money, higher return on investment by waiting for confirmation, because I'm not afraid to put up a lot of money to win a little if I know I have the right side, as opposed to putting a little to win a lot just to play like psychic, because that's what you're doing early on. You got to remember, a lot of these GMs and coaches, they're not tipping their hand early. You know what I mean? They might want a player and they don't want to let that be known because there's a team ahead of them that also is looking for, let's say, a tight end or something like that. But then on the flip side of the coin, you have a handful of GMs and teams that have already told you what they want, who they're getting. In fact, some have even reached out to these players already. So I urge you to trust the line moves that happened today. That's how you're going to make your money. Listen, opinions are great, but Vegas backs their opinions with cash. They know if they're wrong, it's going to cost them a lot of money, kind of like the rankings throughout the season in college football. The only reason you should ever pay attention to them is to see where they're wrong, the narrative, compared to what the odds makers think. Because the odds makers don't care about the popularity contest or the record. They care about, on paper, how good is this team? Would they be favored over the other? That's how they look at it. Power ratings, not rankings. And it's the same with the draft. When you start seeing those line moves confirm something, don't be afraid to bet it. And if the line's gotten a little away from you, here's how you use it. You use it by looking at your mock draft. You should already have a mock draft of what you think is going to happen. And then as it happens, or where you're wrong, then you could cross off players. Like, okay, this guy's gone. Right. This team's still looking for a tight end or running back. This is the next best available. That's how you make some money on draft day. That's why I've only released 3 so far. I'm going to give you the biggest bet I made already. And that's the under 2.5 quarterbacks. I started betting that, Prez, at like plus 140. I gave it to my subscribers at plus 130. I even bet it 2 nights ago at minus 105, because as deep as I look on this first round, I can't see more than 2 quarterbacks. I see Cam Ward going number 1, right. Even though he's not the best available player, he's going to go number 1 to Tennessee. We already know that. But after that, the only thing I see is the possibility of Deion Sanders' son, and his stock continues to drop. Now people think he's going to go to the Steelers around 21. Before that, I don't see a quarterback going except for the number 1 spot. After that, I don't see a quarterback going. So I really feel confident we're going to cash that under 2.5, just like I feel confident in the over 6.5 that we laid a little bit of juice to go over offensive linemen. Listen, when teams are stuck or a player gets lost that they wanted, you know what they're going after. They're going after an offensive lineman. They're going after the trenches, unless there's, a edge rusher available. That's what these GMs are building off of, offensive line and defensive line, unless, again, you have a specialty position that needs to be filled, like a wide receiver or a running back. Like we know the Raiders want a running back. I mean, if obviously they want that kid from Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. That's who they want. They're not going to go into the season with Mostert and McCormick as their top running backs. That's what Carroll wants. He needs a running back. So if there's a trade before that, or if Jeanty goes before that, you look for the next available top running back. That's how you make money on draft day, followed by keep that odds logic screen up or whatever you're using and follow those line moves, those confirmations. They all but assure you what's going to happen. Again, it's great when you hit a 10-1, 15-1 long shot. If you're the only one that called the kid from Georgia going to the 6th spot or whatever. But the amount that you're going to lose trying to hit that 10-1 barely is going to cover that up. I'm comfortable laying 400, 500 to win 100 when I know this is all but confirmed. And that's what I'm looking for today. So subscribers, I know you only got 3 prop bets so far. You will receive them over the next couple hours. We make money year in, year out on the draft. This one will be no different.